I give up. I give up. No matter how much I want the Red Hat saga to end, something just keeps on happening. And every single time, it's a really exciting event. This time, I'm not even going to say this is my final video on the saga. I have no idea. This is just my life now. But this time, we're not talking about Red Hat directly. We're also not talking about Fedora. Instead, we're talking about Oracle. Yes, that Oracle behind Java. Yes, that Oracle, which back in 2010 had a lawsuit against Google for including Java code in Android. The lawsuit that is one of the fundamental cases setting up legal precedents for APIs being fair use. That Oracle, which much like Alma Linux and Rocky Linux, is also a RHEL rebuilder with Oracle Linux. Yes, that Oracle which everybody knows and loves and thinks is such a friendly and great company. They released a blog post. Keep Linux open and free. We can't afford not to. Now, I am of no misapprehension that Oracle is now a good guy. I do not believe for a second that they are doing this for the good of open source. This is a purely money-driven and cost-reduction move to protect the market share of Oracle Linux. And even though the irony is so thick you can cut it with a knife, I love it. I absolutely love this situation, seeing these giant corporations go to war with each other. But we'll be fair, let's just see what they have to say. Oracle has been part of the Linux community for 25 years. Our goal has remained the same over all those years. Help make Linux the best server operating system for everyone, freely available to all with high quality, low cost support provided to those who need it. Okay, fair enough. Our Linux engineering team makes significant contributions to the kernel, file systems, and tools. We push all that work back to mainline so that every Linux distribution can include it. We are proud those contributions are part of the reason Linux is now so very capable, benefiting not just Oracle customers, but all users. Even with a company like Oracle, it makes perfect sense why they would push a bunch of changes back upstream, much like with Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, and a bunch of other really wonderful companies. It is in their financial best interest to make this open system as good as possible. Because yes, all of these companies, and Microsoft has one, could go and make their own internal operating system. But why would you do that when you have this open system that a bunch of other companies are going to pay their engineers to work on that does 99% of what you need? And then with that additional 1%, you can do that part in-house, massively saving costs. It should be no surprise to anyone why all these big companies are saying open source is great, open source is the future, we love open source, because they finally realized how financially beneficial it is for them to be involved in the space. In 2006, we launched what is now called Oracle Linux. That's about 6 years after RHEL first released. A RHEL-compatible distribution and support offering that is used widely and powers Oracle's engineered systems and our cloud infrastructure. But this is the important part. We chose to be RHEL-compatible because we did not want to fragment the Linux community. Our effort to remain compatible has been enormously successful. This is the really friendly interpretation, the we support the community interpretation. There is another way you can read this. We chose to be RHEL compatible because if we are RHEL compatible, it's very easy for RHEL customers to migrate their RHEL system to an Oracle Linux system, because all of your software packages are going to work exactly the same way. The entire system is going to work the exact same way. It's just branded a little differently. Also, the really hard work, the getting the distro functioning like it should, that can just be done by Red Hat engineers. We can just pull that code in and save us a lot of money. For the record, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Alma Linux and Rocky Linux do the exact same thing. The difference is I don't believe a multi-billion-dollar corporation is doing it for the good of the community. While Oracle and IBM, now this is going to be a trend and you'll see what I mean in just a bit, have compatible Linux distributions, we have very different ideas about our responsibilities as open source stewards and about operating under the GPL v2. Oracle has always made Oracle Linux binaries and source freely available to all. Now let's go back up just a little bit. In all the years since launch, we've had almost no compatibility bugs filed. We chose to be RHEL compatible because we did not want to fragment the Linux community. Oracle Linux binaries and source code are RHEL binaries and source code. Of course you have no issue releasing them, there is no value lost to you. We do not have subscription agreements that interfere with a subscriber's right to redistribute Oracle Linux. On the other hand, IBM subscription agreements specify that you're in breach if you use those subscription services to exercise your GPL v2 rights. And now, as of June 21st, IBM no longer publicly releases RHEL source code. Why did RHEL make this change? Well, if you read IBM's blog, now this IBM blog leads over to the response of the initial Red Hat announcement, which basically boils down to we have engineers, they write code, they fix problems, and we have to pay those people to do that work. Interesting. IBM doesn't want to continue publicly releasing RHEL source code because it has to pay its engineers. That seems odd, given that Red Hat as a successful independent open source company chose to publicly release RHEL source and pay its engineers for many years before IBM acquired Red Hat in 2019 for $34 billion. I love that they keep saying IBM and not Red Hat. This is being written like a YouTube commenter would write it. Any bad thing that Red Hat does is IBM's fault. Red Hat equals IBM. It is so obvious what they are trying to do here. They are trying to get in the good graces of people that absolutely despise Red Hat and IBM, and somehow make it that Oracle is the better and more friendly choice. And I've seen it working. I have seen people thinking Oracle are the good guys now. If it's still not clear what they're doing, this should make it pretty obvious. In December 2020, IBM effectively killed CentOS as a free alternative to RHEL. Two new alternatives to RHEL has sprung up in CentOS's place, Alma Linux and Rocky Linux. Now, by withholding RHEL source code, IBM has directly attacked them. Guys, we support Alma Linux and Rocky Linux. Join our side, fight against Red Hat, and become Oracle supporters. Honestly, I was half expecting Oracle to have some sort of backdoor deal with Red Hat, allowing them to operate exactly the same way they were before. They have enough money to make something like that happen. Or maybe they don't. Judging by the fact this blog post exists, either a deal like that never existed, or whatever deal they were working on ended up falling through. Oracle Linux will continue to be RHEL compatible to the extent we can make it so. In the past, Oracle's access to published RHEL source has been important for maintaining that compatibility. From a practical standpoint, we believe Oracle Linux will remain as compatible as has always been through release 9.2. But after that, there may be a greater chance for a compatibility issue to arise. And if there is an issue, Oracle will aim to fix that. That part I do believe, because if you have issues with your system, eventually they're going to add up and someone's going to leave. We want to emphasize to Linux developers, Linux customers, and Linux distributors that Oracle is committed to Linux freedom. I definitely believe that for sure. Oracle makes the following promise: as long as Oracle distributes Linux, Oracle will make the binaries and source code for that distribution publicly and freely available. Furthermore, Oracle welcomes downstream distributions of every kind, community and commercial. We are happy to work with distributors to ease that process, work together on the content of Oracle Linux, and ensure Oracle software products are certified on your distribution. Imagine a world, right, where Alma Linux and Rocky Linux decided to become downstream of Oracle. I could see it happening. It would be a crazy world, but it's not impossible. By the way, is anybody looking for a job that doesn't like IBM's actions? Well, it turns out that Oracle is hiring. Do you believe in Linux freedom? Go work for Oracle. Finally, to IBM. Here's a big idea for you. You say that you don't want to pay all those RHEL developers. Here's how you can save money. Just pull from us. Become a downstream distributor of Oracle Linux. We will happily take on the burden. This might be one of the most obvious attempts I've ever seen at trying to win brownie points and get one up over your competitor. But even so, I don't want Oracle to stop. This is such a ridiculous saga. I never expected a world where Oracle was going to come along and fight for open source, fight for freedom. But it makes sense if they can get one over on Red Hat, doesn't it? I'm not going to try and stop anything. I'm just going to grab my popcorn, sit down, relax, and watch the show. And I encourage you to do the same. So, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Are you a Red Hat user? Maybe you're an Oracle user. Do you actually like Oracle? I would love to know. So if you like the video, go like the video. And if you really like the video and you want to become one over these amazing people over here, check out the Patreon, subscribe to the LiberaPay, linked in the description down below. That's going to be it for me, and never trust an Oracle.
Like this.